Hello, it's me, Dr. Dawn, with Family Renewed and the ABCs of Family Resiliency, bringing you our next installment of Applications of the Week. Now, as you know, this is May, Mental Health Awareness Month, and this is our last Sunday. So today I wanted to bring to you signs, symptoms, and resources that are associated with mental health issues. Now, the reality is we don't know what we don't know. So, when we can take the time to get informed about issues, we can be better prepared to deal with the challenges that may come our way. As a psychiatrist, I'm looking at thoughts, feelings, and behaviors to understand the issues that my clients are dealing with in order to help make recommendations that can help them lead healthier lives for them and their family so that they can thrive and not just survive. So, I have a few quick questions. Are you always focused on the negative or worrying about things that you have no control over? Or are you always feeling sad or nervous all the time? These are some of the questions I'm trying to answer when I'm trying to make sense of some of the behaviors that my clients are exhibiting in order to help them navigate whatever's going on. Many people are struggling today with depression and anxiety, with the pandemic, with all the negativity in our country and in our society, with social media challenges, and even with the political climate. And with all of this going on, some people don't know and can't recognize depression in themselves or others, let alone get help for it. So, again, today I wanted to discuss some of the signs and symptoms that might reveal an underlying depression or anxiety in you or someone else you care about. So, first, with depression, some of the signs and symptoms of depression can be problems with sleep. It might be problems falling asleep or waking up in the middle of the night. There may be a change in appetite. They don't have any appetite, or their appetite is increased and they're eating more. It could be changes with their energy level, difficulty with, getting out of bed and going to work, or, being restless all the time. It could be issues with focus and concentration where they just can't stay on task. It could be a change in mood that they're feeling more depressed. It might be a decrease in interest in things that they used to enjoy, or it could be feelings of guilt or hopelessness or helplessness. And so these are some of the things that we think about when we're thinking about an underlying depression. Now, some of the signs or symptoms of an anxiety disorder can be some of the same things that we see in depression. For example, you might see changes in sleep, problems falling asleep or waking up in the middle of the night. It could be problems focusing and concentrating because you can only think about and focus on what you're worried about. It could also be restless behavior, or sometimes it's stomach aches or headaches. You could also be, difficulty breathing or feeling short of breath or increased heart rate. All of these things can be signs or symptoms of an anxiety disorder. But again, these symptoms can overlap. So it's really important to find out what's really underlying some of these symptoms. But what we also look at are the behaviors that come from some of these signs and symptoms that we're looking at. So, for example, if you have a hard time falling asleep or getting up in the morning, it may be that it now impacts your ability to function at school or function at work, getting your work completed. If you're having problems focusing or concentrating, it may be that you're not getting your tasks done at work, or your grades might be falling at school. There are so many different things, but when you start seeing major changes in someone's behavior, you really need to think about what else may be going on and underlying this, and whether or not, again, is it a depression, anxiety disorder, but what is it? It may not be either of those, but it's important to at least be thinking about it because there's so much of that going on right now, and people are struggling, and again, don't know where to look or how to ask for help. Now, again, all of these things can be signs or symptoms that something is going on, and we need to kind of figure out how to check things out. Now, last week in my applications of the week, I talked about simple strategies at your fingertips. So we talked about calling 988, which is the mental health crisis line. We talked about reaching out to NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, or going to their website. We also talked about reaching out to your EAP programs, your employee assistance programs, or school counselors. We also talked about checking out your local community mental health centers. But please, please, please don't forget, in an emergency, suicide, crisis line, hotline, any of those things, you can dial 988 for 24-hour, 7-day-a-week support to find out resources in your area, and it is confidential. Again, that number is 988. Now, if any of this information has been helpful, remember we talked about the signs and symptoms of depression and anxiety. And if you're seeing things like problems and change in your function, connected with resources can make the difference and can be life changing. Now, if any of this information has been helpful, please like, share, and comment on my YouTube channel. And don't forget to share it with someone that you care about in order to help them help their families thrive and not just survive, just like you. Thank you again for joining us for our application of the week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. This is Dr. Dawn saying goodbye.